All right, and welcome back to part 5 of this Nightingale Let's Play. I'm just going to continue where I left off. Right now, we just wrapped up some of the housekeeping and things like that, and there's still things we need. So, for example, we need an etched ingot. I'm gonna have to upgrade my crafting stations here in order to achieve that, and it shouldn't be too bad. If I check over at my progression tab, I've unlocked pretty much the basics that I need for pretty much every category as far as like the actual crafting stations. But there are a few things that I'm sure I'm gonna have to go out of my way to unlock. So for example, this right here, etched ingot, so I'm gonna learn that as a recipe. And that'll of course come out of the refined smelter. So I'm probably gonna have to maybe do a little bit of farming. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to go back to Sylvan's Cradle and check to see how much of the map was actually completed. But if I don't have enough green essence by the end of it, I'll have to open up maybe an antiquarian realm, and that would be a good start for you know, just basic exploration and kind of explaining how that works with the procedurally generated realms. So yeah, that's really exciting. But I think the first thing I need to do here is make sure that I have my materials in place. So I'm going to put some wood bundles here. I'm actually, you know what? Let me see. We have all these different buildings. We also have new augmentations, which some of them I could just place and things like that. Like, so for example, you know, you have the simple minor augment, increases stone and powder yield by 20%, you know, things like that. We also have the spit roast and some other machinations, I guess you could say, that we could place. Now, it's always tricky trying to place a lot of these augmentations just because there's just, how do I say this? I guess the way that you can kind of, you know, place them together and stuff like that, like you kind of have to pre-plan a little bit what you're gonna do. But I tend to be kind of, I'm gonna be honest guys, I'm a little lazy with the augments, and I probably shouldn't be, especially if I'm going to be making potions and various objects and things like that. So I'm gonna place that there. Let's see, the sundial is going to be useful in general, so I'm going to put it right here. What else we got? Did I already place the beehive? Yes, I did. What else is showing? Formula board, that's going to be useful. I'm going to put that probably just right here. Let's see, the spit roast can be placed it too. I'll put the spit roast right on top. And where else? The strange jug, that's another item that needs to be placed near here. I think I'll put it right here for now. Let's see, a trophy I think was all that was needed. I think we've placed everything else. So now that everything has been placed, actually, yeah, I already placed the ink making set. We don't need 2 trout trophies, so I'll leave that alone. But if you notice, some of these items, you know, obviously we're gonna have to place some stuff. So I'm gonna place the carpal trout here, lumber, twine, that's already made. Let's see what else we can add here. Twine, sticks. Okay, looks like we're gonna need some carved stone. Okay, we're gonna need at least 3 carved stone. Sticks. Alright, so let me make some twine before I get too deep into this. And let's make maybe, actually, you know, before I do that, let me set this, let me turn this on. That way we get the warm bonus. And let's make maybe 10 of the twine. And then I'm also going to make some carved stone, so I have my little simple masonry bench here. And as far as that goes, I think maybe 4, well, actually, let's make 10. Let's make 10 of them, because I feel like I'm going to keep needing that. So, yeah, let's see, we have lumber, pole, and twine. So for the pole, I can make that over here at the simple saw table. So we're going to make at least one, well, actually, how many poles did I say that I needed? I'm sorry, let me check. 2 poles. Alright, so I'm gonna make 2 poles right here. Alright, I'm gonna grab the carved stone out of here and there. We're gonna grab the poles. I'm gonna grab the twine. Gonna grab twine again. And what else? Sticks, carved stone. Let's see, we have tier 2 predator hide. Oh, I don't necessarily want to use the tier 2 hides for this. So I think I'm not going to actually finish making this formula board for now. We do need paper and carved stone. So I'm going to grab the carved stone from here. Okay. Lumber and twine, I think was just for this. That's completed. And then carved stone. We're still waiting on that. But yeah, the hide and paper we're not going to worry about just yet. So this formula board we're not going to touch. The reason why is I don't want to use the tier 2 hide for something like this. I always want to use the lowest value materials possible when making augments, because it doesn't actually have any real effect on you know, the stats of like your augmentations. It doesn't work like that. So I'm not trying to essentially create an issue as a result. Now, this is basically all I got in my inventory. If you notice right now, I'm rocking the level 20 gear, except for my backpack, which has a infusion and a charm on it. My umbrella is also level 28, and that needs a charm of some kind. Now, if I interact with the simple enchantress focus, you can already see that the charms available to me are very I mean, I have a few. So like Charm of the Immovable is one that I want to make, so I'm going to mark that. I'm also going to want another Charm of the Mule, a Charm of the Wanderer, which we have. I know I have one somewhere. So those 3 are probably the big ones right now. Endless Fishing can be nice, but I don't really spend a lot of time fishing. Let's see, Charm of Invigoration. Okay, that's for creatures' weak point, so I'm not going to be using that. Charm of the Juggler, not something I want to be using right now either, so there's that. And of course I could make better weapons and then upgrade those weapons and then create spells for those specific things. So what I'm going to do first is actually just focus on upgrading my benches, and I'm also going to create a crude portal. Now this will be the first portal that I build. So what I'm going to do actually is create a little bit of a front area, and I'm going to look at the foundations. So it looks like I need bricks and lumber for this. I cannot make bricks yet, so I'm gonna stick with the crude building stuff for now. But yeah, that is the plan. Just gonna make sure that I am able to create like kind of like a whoops. Oh no. There we go. I want to create like a front area here, so let me just add some resources. So we're gonna add our sticks, our wood bundle, and our stone, oh sorry, our plant fiber. I'm gonna back away from this. There we go. So now it's done being created. And in this front area, I'm going to, well actually I need to kind of maybe make some stairs or something that can lead down toward the water, but I'm not too worried about it. It's kind of on the edge of a cliff, so it's like kind of whatever, if that makes sense. So I think I'm just gonna leave that alone, but what I will do is place a portal here for now, and this will be my first portal. Oh, I accidentally dodged and completed a challenge. That's funny. That was a complete accident. Alright. Need to create a portal area that's not... Well, actually, I don't think that I have enough surface area here to really comfortably place stuff. So I think I'm gonna, well, actually, let me eat some food real quick. Let's contribute some sticks, some plant fiber, and some wood bundle. There we go. I'm gonna back away from this a little bit, let it create itself. And then now I'm gonna place my crude portal, and we're gonna put this first portal right over here. Now for this portal, I can use lumber, ingots, wire, and synchronous lotus. I don't have enough for that, so actually, now I think about it, I'm gonna hold off on making that portal because I can't use that synchronous lotus I just got for that. I need to use it here instead. So I'm gonna be using the synchronous lotus there. But like I said, I have to upgrade my crafting benches. So let me do that real quick. So let's go to the crafting benches, and we're gonna start off with I think the most important ones right now would probably be the smelter, and then maybe the 2 workbenches. So I'll put the smelter down here for now. I'm just gonna build it and then I'm going to move it. So I have a shaft here. I need 1 more. We have ingots. We need wire and then carved stone. So I'm gonna contribute the carved stone, and then I need 1 shaft and 1 wire. So we're gonna make the shaft, and we're also gonna make the wire. All right, and then I'm just going to contribute both materials. Perfect. So now I'm going to actually deconstruct this smelter here, and I'm going to instead move this one into its old place. So this smelter can sit here for now. Once we upgrade it to the excellent smelter, it's not going to fit though. So this is something I kind of have to keep in mind. But I'm not too worried about it as of right now. I'm gonna move this augment back here actually, so that it's like out of the way a little bit. And yeah, so let me contribute some hold on a second. I can't quite click on the... Okay, so I'm gonna have to move the bellows. This isn't gonna work. Let me move it over here, actually. There we go. So let's add some fuel. I'm gonna put some sticks in there because, well, actually, maybe not sticks. I'm gonna put some coal in there, actually. And we'll leave that alone. Now, if I interact here, you can see I can make an etched ingot. So, let's go with a... Actually, can I... Oh, I do have enough ore to make some more tin ingots, so I'm gonna make some etched tin ingots. That'll take a few seconds. I'm gonna let that complete. I'm gonna turn off the simple cooking station since I'm not crafting anything to eat right now. I'm also going to start working on some other stuff. So another important crafting station is probably going to also be the tanning station, because remember, we're going to use it for clothing and things like that. So I'm going to build it right here for now, and we're going to contribute materials. We got straps. Now we need wire and a pole, so I can get a pole from here. So I'm going to make a pole and then wire. I need actually, hold on. I need 3 poles and 2 wires. So let's make, well, first we make 1 etched ingot before I do anything, because I need to make sure I can make my peeps box. So we're going to prioritize the peeps box real quick. All right. So I'm going to throw the etched ingot in there, and now I have access to even more materials. So remember the materials you put in, I want to say, what, a couple of episodes ago? Yeah, so now all those materials are here and I can access them. So this is going to be really huge, because notice I now have 98 wood bundles that I've been holding on to. So I'm actually going to move my equivalents over, and then I'm going to take all. And notice that everything is like super heavy, so I just gotta make sure I move all of these materials over as they should be moved. I'm actually going to move the Jotun heart over to the metals, because even though it's like an organic plant life item, it's kind of not used that way. You can use it to make cut gems and things like that, so I'm just kind of moving it in accordance to what it can be built into. And I'm just going to continue placing more and more of these materials. where they belong. And then, of course, we have the Charm of the Wanderer, which I'm actually going to end up applying to my boots instead of my umbrella this time around. There is another charm I want to make, but I need to upgrade my Enchanter's Focus. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here for now to remind myself to make that, and then we're just going to contribute, let's see, we need wire and poles, so we need 2 poles, and then once I place those down, we should be okay. Oh, and it looks like I'm going to need more lumber too, so I'm actually going to take my wood bundles and I'm going to make like 10 lumber for now, though I'm sure I'm going to need more. And then I'm also going to make 2 wires, so let's do that. I'm going to use tin, and then I'm also going to make 10 ingots because now I have more materials. Now I think something that is going to be really important is I'm probably going to want to make that axe pick sooner than later, just so that I can acquire materials a lot faster, since we don't have Oberon's bounty until after Sylvan's Cradle is finished. So unless I get really lucky and find an Oberon's bounty spell, or not spell, enchantment in like a box or something, we're gonna have to play it safe here, because otherwise we're not going to have what we need. So oh, I think I didn't build that one pole, so let me do that. And I'm actually going to swap the priority of these 2 builds. That's the nice thing, is you can swap the priority. Boom. So now we have a tanning station that is refined, and if I interact with this, you can see what we have available versus the normal one. You know, it's the same recipes essentially. So you have animal fiber, chitinous bone and hide, felt, leather, and straps. And if I use the refined tanning stations, the difference is that I have wrap now as a spell. Sorry, not a spell. I have wraps and felt. I don't think felt was a... Oh no, I could make felt, but I couldn't make wraps. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of reuse these materials now. So this is going to go down. That's going to be destroyed. I'm going to move my tanning station over. I'm going to place it right over here. Actually, it's a little bit off, so let me reposition it a little bit. There we go. So now we are off to a great start. And I'm also going to, well, actually, now that I've completed some of these things, I'm going to put these materials where they belong as well. And of course, we have food and seeds. I'm going to put the refined wheat in there. Empty my inventory again. So now we have 2 upgraded stations. The next step will probably be also the textile station, so I could make a refined textile station next. Let's do that. And we're going to put lumber and twine, and we need 2 wires and 2 poles. Now this is going to get a little bit dicey because of that, but the more important thing we need right now is a better workbench. So I think I'm going to actually prioritize a refined workbench. I'm going to place this here for now. So this is going to need lumber, wire, 2 poles, and 2 shafts. So we're going to make 2 poles. Two wires. Actually, we're going to put 2 shafts and then 2 wires. Because remember, we unlocked a lot of the recipes that are needed for that, so the only thing I'll have to do is just contribute these materials. I'm just still waiting for that other shaft. Let me do that. Alright, so now we have our refined workbench. Now, if I take a look at this workbench, you notice there's the refined longbow, refined climbing picks, you know, things that we've unlocked before in the previous episode, so that's going to be really important. So I think what I'm going to do is also worry about the... I could go, I could use a lantern. That could be cool, but that's not going to be a priority. Let's go and make this refined axe pick. So I'm going to actually mark that as something I need to build. And you know what? I'm going to also untrack my my quests right now because I just want to see what I'm building, essentially. And for the refined axe pick, I need ingots, 2 ingots and 2 lumber. So, because we actually got a different kind of lumber now, which is the Elder Jotun wood, I'm actually going to convert that into lumber first, and we're going to use that lumber to make our items. The reason why is because if we were to try and just use the wood bundle, it only gives you injury resistance, whereas the oh my god, I keep saying Elder Jotun, but it's just Jotun, sorry. The Jotun wood gives you a maximum stamina of 10 and a critical damage of 6%, so we're gonna look for that extra oomph when we start attacking with our axe pick. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. Let's take a look at this crafting bench here, this workbench. I'm gonna remove it, so we're gonna remove the simple workbench. We don't need this anymore. We've moved past this, we've evolved, okay? And I'm gonna move this table all the way over here, where it's still getting all those bonuses. Now, the simple sewing bench is going to need an upgrade as well, so I could technically go and try to upgrade that. So we have, well, we also need a refined saw table. I think a refined saw table right now might actually be more useful, just because I'm trying to make so much lumber. So we're gonna need, let's see, we have all that lumber. I'm gonna actually take all of my, actually, you know what, I have a better idea. I'm gonna talk to my helper here. Oh, I didn't realize they had all this stuff on them. Okay, never mind. I was gonna send them out to go do stuff, and now I remember that I actually have it all already, so that was kind of silly. My bad, I guess you could say. Alright, so we're gonna contribute all of... Whoops, I didn't mean to put that in there. Gonna contribute all of these materials. Of course, the animal products can go in there. And, yeah, that'll be good. So, let's see, we have 3 regular lumber here. Well, actually, I should have probably put it in there, not in here. But you know what? Let me remove the enchanter's focus here. There we go. So I'm going to contribute the lumber. Now I have to be careful not to put the Jotun wood in there. There we go. 1 wire. So we're going to need 3 poles. Now remember, we want to use the regular wood, so I don't have enough lumber. So I'm going to take my regular wood here. Oh, I forgot. We also have corrupted bundles. So if I really wanted to, instead of using the Jotun wood, if I wanted to use the corrupted wood, I could for the maleficum resistance and the health regeneration. That could also be a decent option. So we have a couple of different things we can do here. I think I'm gonna make maybe like 50 of these lumbers. We're gonna let that do its thing. In the meantime, we're gonna be crafting our shaft. I think I'm gonna take this tin etched ingot and we're gonna use that one. It doesn't really matter if the ingot is etched or not. It's just a different kind or different state of the same ingot, essentially. So it doesn't really do much in terms of, you know, possibilities, I guess. What I will do, though, is turn on my fire here and restart my day. So let's reset the day just to let time pass. And then that way the 50 lumber will be completed. All right, so we got our 50 lumber. And we're just going to make 3 poles. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. We're going to make poles out of that. And then we're also going to need 1 wire. And we'll take the tin etched ingot and make that into a wire, because why not? And let's put the poles in. gonna grab the wire. I'm gonna turn this off for now. Boom. So now we have a much better simple saw table. Now I'm gonna take this. Oh, that's a mistake. Actually, let me feed myself before my character starves, apparently. I'm gonna put this all the way back. There we go. Oh, it's a little off. I'm gonna move it a little bit to the right, actually. Boom. So now that is set up, ready to go. We have the same recipes because we haven't unlocked anything yet, but I think it's important to at least get the lumber that we need. Actually, that's not true. We can make carved wood now. I forgot. So we can also make carved wood if we really wanted to, but yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. We're going to turn this corrupted wood into lumber because then we can use it and, you know, to go craft things that we need, which is totally fine. But yeah, the main thing I want to make is that axe pick. So remember, I need lumber, but I also need ingots, right? So I'm gonna have to make 2 ingots, but I'm gonna, well, actually, it looks like I already made the ingots, so let me go back. Let's go to refine axe pick, and we're gonna choose from the ingots we have here. So I can go with a copper ingot, which gives me range damage. That's not gonna be useful on an axe pick, so I'm not gonna do that. We also have range damage on this other copper ingot, but we also have lacunas, which we've gotten from bound. So when we slayed the bound, they drop lacunas. So we're going to use that for the maleficium resistance and also the melee damage. And then of course for the wood, we have 3 options. So we can go with corrupted or Jotun, or we can go with normal. And I think definitely we want to go for a higher tier. So definitely at the tier 2, we can choose either maximum stamina and critical damage or maleficum resistance. I'm going to go with the Jotun wood. I think the Jotun wood is probably better right now. Not just because of the increased you know, damage with the critical strike, but because I feel like it's just going to be a better investment overall. So I'm going to take this axe pick and I'm actually going to replace my mining pick with this axe pick. So this is what the axe pick looks like once I have it. So not bad, not bad. This is a great development. And I'm also going to make sure I put my stuff away because obviously it's too heavy on my character. Alright, so the refined textile station, we need 2 wires and 2 poles, so I'm gonna go and craft that in the meantime. So 2 poles, we're gonna use regular wood, and then 2 wires. We're gonna need 2 ingots to make that, so I'm gonna quickly look and see. It looks like this the copper ingot might be something we have to worry about now. The thing with the copper is that if I was going to make a ranged weapon, obviously I would want to use that. I don't really have any tin ore right now that I want to be using. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk to my helper here and we're going to swap weapons. So I'm going to give them, I'm going to take this mining pick away and I'm going to give them my axe pick to hold on to, and then I'm going to equip it. Then I'm going to have them follow me and I'm going to fly over to the other side here. And I'm going to have them mining in this area and just getting a bunch of tin ore because I really need tin ore. I don't have enough right now, and this would be the perfect opportunity to get that essentially. So now that they're here, I'm just going to say work here, and they should be doing their own thing. I'm not going to go and gather it myself right now because I am trying to, you know, build other items. So we're going to be focusing on our priorities there. But of course, you know, we just want to make sure we have what we need. I'm going to have to build some extra stairs this way, obviously, at some point. Hopefully not too far down the line, that is. All right, I'm going to turn off the simple cooking station. And as you can see, my helper is just kind of autonomously working in the background. They're mining for me, so I don't have to worry about that anytime soon. As far as like wires and poles go, I don't have those materials, so we're going to leave that alone for now. And we're just gonna see what else we can make. So another item that I want to make will be the regular axe. So the refined wood axe is the item I want, and of course I'm gonna need lumber and an ingot to make that. So let's make our thing using Lacunas again, and I'm also going to, you know what, I think I'm gonna go with the corrupted wood for this build. And, you know, I think it's okay to mix it up just so that we have a little bit of variety here. Boom. So now we have a refined wood axe, and that axe is going to be infinitely better than the current garbage I've been using. So let me just extract stuff from all these tools, which I'm not going to need. I'm going to have to replace the tool that my helper has. Actually, if I wanted to, I could make myself another refined axe pick. The reason why I like having an axe pick on the helper is because it eats up one slot for your, you know, on hands essentially, and since your helper can only have one weapon equipped at a time, it doesn't make sense to give them two weapons necessarily, and it's better to just give them an axe pick. So I think I'm gonna follow suit for myself, and we're just gonna make, you know, this with the Jotun wood. I have enough Jotun wood to make another, so what the hell, let's just throw it in there and make another. Now again, the reason why I'm making a refined wood axe and a refined axe pick is because with the wood axe I can do this. I can block, okay? With the refined pickaxe, your block is not a block. Your block is that. It's the mining edge. Whereas the main attack is your axe edge, the off or the block button instead becomes your mining edge. So, you know, that's the main reason why I'm not too worried about that and why I'm deciding to make those two separate weapons. I just wanted to clarify that again, just as like a refresher. And I'm also going to make some refined climbing picks. I think this is going to be very helpful. I think for these, I'm actually probably going to go with the etched copper potentially. But I could go with something else. I need to think about this. So for refined items, right? So I'm going to type in refined just to kind of look and see what we got here unlocked. We have the climbing picks, the longbow, and the sickle. I've been using the longbow a little bit, but not too much. So I think I can live without that. The sickle, however, is kind of important, so we're going to make sure to get that. So I'm going to use Lacunas for that, and I'm also going to use, I think I'm going to, well, I think I'm going to use the corrupted wood for this. So we're going to make our refined sickle. Awesome. So now that we have the refined sickle, we can take that and replace our current sickle. And I'm going to take this and extract. Boom. So now we are already doing way better than we were a few seconds ago. Now, I don't have the refined hunting knife. That's something that I really need to work on. That'll be something that I unlock later in the progression tab. As far as refined longbow goes, we're going to look and see what we need. So we would need, let's see, we need animal fiber, ingots, and lumber. For the lumber, we could use the, I think the Jotun would be fine for this. Not sure about the animal fiber, and then of course I'd probably use copper for my range damage. So I'm going to check the tanning station and check my options for animal fiber. So if I look and see my options here, right now we just have prey, but I think that's only tier 1. The tier 2 stuff I have here, like the predator meat, gives you maximum health, hunger mitigation, or whatever, and I think that'll be fine. This doesn't translate the same exact way once you convert it into animal fiber, but just for the sake of this, I'm just going to make a couple of them so that I can show you guys how this is implemented. Alright, I need to, you know what, I'm just, oh, I drank the wrong potion. It's okay, let's eat some more food. Alright, so for the, where is it? refined longbow. I'm gonna use the Jotunwood for critical damage. And if I look at my options here, instead of having, you know, 5 stamina, with the Predator tier 2, I get 20 maximum health, and I think that's going to be a little bit more useful. So we're going to take that instead. And looking at my different types of damage, Bombardier gives me 4% range damage and 5% Maleficum resistance. That could be really, really nice. But it is a tier 1, so I kind of have to think about it a little bit. But I think the 6% range damage would probably be more beneficial right now, so I'm going to do that, and we're going to craft our longbow. Alright, so we finally got our longbow. This is what the current one that I have looks like. This original, you know, kind of simple longbow. Actually, let me step outside, make it easier to see. So that longbow right there is what I currently have on, but if I were to swap it, already you can see a visual improvement to the quality. And of course I'm going to extract. I could have given that to my helper, but I'm just kind of like, meh, don't really feel like it. I'm gonna be honest. I prefer to keep my my helper with a weapon they can use to block with. Which, speaking of the devil, where'd they go? Oh, I see them. They're off in the distance right here. And they seem to just be standing there, not really doing anything. So which doesn't really make sense, but, you know, maybe they're slacking. They're on their break. And let's see what else I got here. So we already took the animal fiber. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna put this in this trunk here with the animal products. And the next thing I want to make will probably also be a well, actually, let's make the refined climbing picks, because I feel like that's going to be the most probably useful thing right now. I'm going to use copper for range damage. You can use it to, like, I mean, it's technically a melee weapon, but I don't use them for combat, so to me it doesn't really matter what I'm using, but because it's tier 2, I think I'm fine with that, if that makes sense. And of course we're going to need some injury resistance, so maybe regular lumber wood isn't going to kill us. Well, not yet anyway. But actually, you know what? Let me check on my helper first. Let me check on them, because he's just kind of standing there, and that's not good. I'm not sure why he wouldn't be, like, you know, attacking this. Well, not attacking, but actually, let me show you guys real quick what this looks like. So, look at the difference already, just through having that axe pick. Like, the swinging is faster, you know, I'm getting through it a little bit faster. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit annoying because these rocks take forever to break down, some of them at low levels. But, you know, we're getting a little progress. It's better than taking 30 days to chop it down. Now I could take about, I don't know, 3 days. But yeah, we're gonna interact. I'm gonna tell him to follow me. Actually, yeah, he's just gonna follow me. And then we're gonna head over to our place here. Oh, and if I wanted to, I can also chop down this quartz. Some quartz right here. Not a bad idea maybe to retrieve that. Just gonna do that while I'm here. Might as well. And you know what? We have more tin over here. So might as well go for it. I'm already here. I'm gonna make sure that I consume items to be able to do this a little bit easier. Okay, so swap over. Alright. And I'm gonna use my climbing picks. Oops, I did not mean to do that. There we go. And I'm gonna take this stuff from them. I'm surprised that didn't weigh me down like 1,000,000 pounds, but it didn't, so I'll take it. And then we're gonna make our ingots. And we're gonna make about 20 ingots. So that's all I can make out of that. I'm gonna grab the pole. I'm gonna put 2 poles in there. And then when all these ingots are done being crafted, I'm going to take the time to essentially, well, actually, hold on, let me tell them to stand still here. You're gonna stand still, buddy. And once this is done, we can make our wires. So let me double check. I need 2 wire, so I'm gonna do that real quick. And we're gonna use the tin ingots to make it. I'm gonna switch the priority. Make sure we get this done faster. Yeah, but this is more, as you guys can probably figure out by now, this is gonna be mostly a... What the hell? What did I pick up? Stone block. Oh, I guess there was a stone block over there and I didn't even see it. Anyway, as you guys can see, we're doing a lot of just, you know, housekeeping kind of stuff, a lot of maintenance kind of stuff. You know, that's the thing I kind of like about this game is that, you know, I get to kind of be a little bit more meticulous at home while also kind of going out and exploring at my leisure, if that makes sense. So that's something that I really like about this game. I mean, I know some people, they prefer to just go out and kill stuff and, you know, whatever, but I mean, you can do that in this game and it's totally fine, but eventually you have to do some housekeeping, and that, you know, that's just something that I particularly enjoy. I did not mean to accidentally drink that. No one noticed, I hope. Oh man, I feel like a bunch of weird stuff always happens whenever I'm like talking about stuff. Let's see, carved stone. I need paper, and I also need 2 hide. I think I can sacrifice 2 predator hides maybe later, but I'm gonna make my gear first. Let's make a simple sewing bench. Sorry, not simple, refined sewing bench. So this thing right here, I'm gonna place this for now. We're gonna put some twine, we're gonna put some lumber, we're gonna need wire. So let me make 5 twine. Actually, let me turn this on. Actually, no. I'm gonna turn this on first. We're gonna make... How many wire did I just say? I'm sorry. You can tell I can't remember shit. I have like literally like no memory. There we go. And then once I'm done with this, I'm also going to need so hold on, 3 wire. We need 5 twine, so the twine I'm gonna put here, let's see. There we go. So we got 5 twine going. All right. And once the twine is done, we'll have our completed sewing bench, and then I'll be able to look at some of the new recipes we also have. So that's going to be fun. So for the recipes, I can make trapper's shoes, trapper's breeches, trapper's coat. As far as these shoes and stuff go, we're gonna need different materials. So if you notice here, I'm already gonna need felt. Actually, oh, this is already tier 2, so I could use that. But yeah, we're gonna need felt, we're gonna need twine, we're gonna need a bunch of materials. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually deconstruct this here, and I'm gonna move the simple sewing bench over as it should be. And now that that is all in place, let's maybe plan to make actually, I didn't realize the trapper's coat and the scarf fit the same spot, so I could make... So the difference between these two is the materials. So I could make a coat of felt and twine, or I could make a scarf with cloth thread and fiber. So a lot of times when I kind of choose my gear, I do it based on what materials I have the best of right now. So I suspect that I might have a better time trying to make this scarf just because of the thread and fiber, because I know I have a lot of plant materials right now that I can choose from. Whereas the trapper's coat, I don't have that many types of things I can use to make the felt, but I do have options for twine, so I can kind of think about that a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to make my other crafting stations in the meantime. So let's try and make the refined enchanter's focus. That's something I've been wanting to make, so we're gonna put down some lumber. It looks like we need some ink, so I have some alchemical ink from last time. We have some glass. It looks like I can actually use molded glass if I really wanted to here, but I'm not too sure if that's what I want to do. I think I will, and then I'll throw in like another one here, and then of course we need 2 wires, so I'm gonna try and make 2 wires right there. The other crafting station would be a mortar station, so the mortar station is going to be like right here where this one is right now. So let's try and get some stuff in there. So we have our lumber, we have refined pigment, we have our ingots, and we need 4 more wires. So you notice this is using a lot of wires, so I have to kind of keep in mind, you know, how much wire I'm making, where it's going, and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's continue this enchanter's focus. And if you can see from here, we have new ones. So Charm of the Sniper, that's something that wasn't available before. So this is the old bench, right? And then the new bench, we have this. So yeah, we can definitely make use of that. I'm going to deconstruct this one, and I'm gonna move over this enchanter's focus into the new position. And you know what, let's put it like right here. And then for the next part, I'm gonna take the wire from here, and we're going to contribute the materials here. And then I'm going to remove this old mortar station, and we're gonna replace it with this new one, obviously. Actually, I think it belongs here. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way these crafting stations are supposed to face, so I just kind of place them where they seem to fit. And then I have my refined masonry bench, so we're gonna make that next. It's gonna require lumber, carved stone, stone powder, that's a new one, and then 4 wire. Let's make our wire first. So we're gonna take 4 of these, make our wire, and then we're also going to what was it, stone powder. So I need 2 stone powder. You can make that at this current one. That's going to be finishing up right here. Then of course we just wait for this, and now I can contribute my stone powder and my wires. Now that's completed. We're going to deconstruct the simple masonry bench, and we're going to move the refined one in its place. All the benches are roughly the same size, even as you go forward. I think the only one that maybe isn't, that I can think of right now, or that gets a little bit bigger, would be the smelter, because when we have the excellent smelter, it's going to take up a bunch of space. So I might have to move the smelter later to be maybe like right here in the center, but we'll see. I'll decide that at a later time. And then the last but not least, we need to make a refined alchemical boiler. We have our regular alchemical boiler right there, but we're just going to make sure we get everything. So there we go. We have lumber, glass. Now we need charm baubles. This is going to be a little bit more intense. So we're going to make some charm baubles. We need wire to make them. Of course we do, because why not? So 1 per. So we're going to need 7 wire. So hopefully I have enough. Oh wow, I have just enough ingots to make 7 wires. So we kind of lucked out here. I totally didn't plan that, okay? Totally didn't plan that. And you know, of course we got to make our charm baubles, but first I need to wait for that. Now for the charm baubles, we're also going to need carved stone. So I think it's like what, 4? Yeah, so right now for carved stone I have 2, so I'm gonna need 2 more carved stone, so we're gonna make a couple of them. And I'm gonna grab my tin wire. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Going to contribute the materials. Now we're gonna make our charm baubles. Remember, we need 4 of them. It's gonna do its thing. If I turned on the fire first, I think it would have been fine, or it probably would have helped, but actually, let me inspect. Yeah, if I turned on the fire, this would have taken less time, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll be just fine. Alright. And then we contribute those materials. Now we can deconstruct this alchemical boiler, and we're going to place this in a better spot right here. Boom. Now, the only thing I don't have right now is a refined cooking station, if I remember correctly. So let me check. I don't think I ever unlocked that. Yeah, I didn't unlock that. So I'm going to need more in the progression tab to unlock that. So that'll be over in the consumables tab. So this refined cooking station, I would need 10 tier 1 essence, which I don't have. But if I did have it, I could make tender steak, fish cutlets, dough, things like that, and a bunch of other recipes. But I'm not quite ready for that, and I'm not too worried about it for now. But what I will do is go to my food and seeds section here and look at the food I have. So I'm going to grab that meat, and I'm going to grab that wasna, and I'm going to replace some of the items I have here. So I only have one of these, so I'm gonna put this here to replace it. And of course, for the mixed food, for the mixed plants, I'm gonna make sure to put the mixed plants in there, so we are good. And I'm gonna put this away, as well as well, actually, I think I'm also gonna put the wasna in there for now, and also this roasted meat prey. Put the materials away. You know, if you notice how simple this is, you know, while I'm doing this, it's not that bad. And yeah, so a miscalculation I made with the charm baubles is I forgot that when I make them, it makes like, I think 2 at a time, or 2 per. I totally forgot about that, so that's why I have extra wire laying around, but extra wire can't hurt considering how much of it we just used. So yeah, the only crafting station I would still need would be the cooking station, and it's unfortunate that I don't have that yet, but it is totally okay. Not the end of the world. I'm trying to think what else I want to make here. So we're gonna want to make some refined climbing picks. So I'm gonna go to the refined workbench, and I'm going to I'm gonna go with this. Well, I'm out of ingots other than the copper ones, but I'm not too worried about it. So we'll go with wood, lumber. My climbing picks are not going to be that great. I don't use them for combat purposes, so I'm just going to have them, you know, essentially just for navigational purposes. Either way, it's not that important what I have on that. Yeah, so Charm of the Wanderer, I think I'm actually going to put on my feet, so I'm going to go to my Potions and Magics tab. Inventory. And I'm going to put the Charm of the Wanderer, I'm going to apply it to my shoe. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to make shoes and then place it. So I need felt and twine, so I'm going to mark the trapper shoes, and I need 1 felt, so let's see what we can make out of felt. We need hide to make felt. I can use the Jabberwock materials for that, so maybe that's not a bad idea. So we're gonna make, actually, we're gonna make 2 felt. Oh, sorry, I meant to make 1, but I'm gonna need felt for something else anyway, so it's whatever. And then we're going to need 2 twine. So for the twine, I have options, because remember, I have all these different types of plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button here for ascending order. And then we're going to see, so Holt Bloom, that'll give me 20 maximum health. The Bound Fiver gives me extra stealth. But remember, I have Charm of the Mules, so that's going to be very... If anything, it'll lessen the effect of Charm of the Mule, but it's not going to really be very helpful. Titania's Crown gives me some health regeneration, stamina regeneration, but I think that Holt Bloom is probably the best one right now. So we're gonna make 2 twine, and then we're gonna craft our trapper's shoes, and then I'm going to apply Charm of the Wanderer. Another reason why I want to to put the charm on the shoes is because I want that charm to always be active no matter what weapon or tool I'm currently using, essentially. That way I don't have to like worry about not receiving a benefit on any particular thing. So here we go. So now I could swap my shoes. Perfect. I need to check and see what the gear looks like on my helper, so let me do that real fast. So we're gonna manage equipment. See, they have level 20, sorry, they have level 11 shoes, so I'm gonna give them my shoes. So here you go, buddy. You can take my shoes, and we're gonna equip that for you. There you go. I'm also gonna take the simple wood axe away. They've lost their blocking privileges. I'm just gonna take that for fun. Gonna extract that, but yeah, now they have my old shoes, and you know, their gear level has gotten better already. So that's usually how I do this, is I usually just transfer whatever items I have. If it's better than what my helper has, I'll just transfer that whenever I upgrade. But come late game, I'm going to have to upgrade their gear to the maximum stuff. So just keep in mind that this is only something that you do like really during like the gradual like progression, but once you hit late game, you're gonna want your helper to basically match you in gear, ideally. So yeah, we have that. Let's see, Trapper's breeches. We're gonna need felt and twine. So, actually, let me see how much more felt I can make out of that Jabberwock skin, hide. So actually, I'm gonna make more of that, because why not? And then we're gonna need 3 twine. I'm going to use the Holt Bloom again. But I'm gonna make 4 twine, because why not? The thing is, when you're making these recipes, you can't combine different types of material. So like, okay, let me give an example. Let's say I'm making a shirt, and the shirt needs 2 twine, right? And maybe I make one crude twine and maybe another twine that's made from like Holt Bloom. I can't combine those 2 separate types of twine into the same recipe, because there's only one slot for the twine. So because you can't contribute that way, that's something you have to kind of think about when you're building or putting stuff together. So we're gonna make these breeches. Sorry, breeches, not breachers. I don't know why I said that. And we're gonna craft that, and then once that's done, I'm gonna change my pants. There we go. Notice my health has already gone a little bit from that, so that's great. And then I'm gonna hand over these pants to my helper here, which I just realized they're not even wearing pants, so they don't even have a full gear set, actually. Okay then. Let's also make a, I could use a scarf, or I could use a simple coat. I like the coat, like I like the way the coat looks. So I might just go with the coat just because I can, but I don't know. I think the stamina will be helpful, and then of course I need more twine. So we're gonna make some more twine. I think I'm gonna actually use Titania's Crown for that, so actually let me double check something, because I don't remember. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not double dipping here. So let me mark the recipe before I do anything stupid, because I will forget how this works. There we go, felt and then twine. This isn't gonna be enough felt, so, well, at least not for the coat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make predator hide felt. So let me make 1. Actually, I'm gonna need 3, not 1. Sorry about that. All right, now I'm gonna make my traverse coat, I also need the twine, which I didn't make because I'm silly. So, twine. I'm gonna choose this. I'm gonna make 2 of these. Okay, I guess I'm gonna need a 3rd one. There we go. And now we're gonna make our trapper's coat. I'm gonna put the felt in. Now I have some choices. I can go with maximum stamina or maximum health. And I think maximum health might actually be more worth it right now. Especially since I have stamina, regeneration, health regeneration on the twine. So I think I'm just gonna go with my personal preference. Now, I'm sure there's gonna be people out there who say, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Look, I'm not gonna tell you what to build. I'm just going to tell you how I built things and why, so that you guys can come to your own conclusions as to what you want to do. I hope that that's, you know, still somewhat helpful. So, alright, so I swapped my coat out. Notice my health bar got bigger. I'm going to give them this, and I'm going to equip. Now they don't have to wear a dress anymore. So I'm going to put this away. I'm going to extract that. And now we're kind of somewhat, you know, looking normal, I think. Now we're also gonna need to make trapper's gloves. Now for the gloves, I need felt and twine, so I'm gonna have to make 2 twine, and that's not gonna be that bad. So I tend to go through this process very carefully, just because I don't want to miss out on opportunities, but I am also looking at what materials I have, and I'm trying to make some wise choices at the same time. I hope that makes sense. There we go. So now let's make our gloves. And for the felt, I could use the Jabberwock felt. So I think I'm gonna use that, why not? And then also the tiniest crown. We're gonna make our gloves. And gonna apply this. I'm gonna talk to my helper. And right now they're wearing level 11 gloves, so I'm sure they'll be appreciating that. And equip. Now their health bar is going up as well. And we're just going to extract. I'm also gonna repair my gear while I'm at it, now that I've extracted a bunch of stuff. Alright, and we're gonna need a hat, so I think I'm gonna go with a bowler hat. I could go with the weathered hat, but the bowler hat is tier 2, so we're gonna go with that instead. And looks like I need cloth and buttons. Now, just a quick reminder, I don't have cloth unlocked, and I don't have buttons unlocked, so I can't actually make that hat right now. So we'll hold off on that. The Trapper's Pack uses felt twine and sticks. So the twine, I just need to make another one of. So we're just gonna make 2. Have just enough to make 2 of these. And of course I have sticks in my inventory. I already know that, so I'm not gonna go back and look for it. And then Trapper's Pack. I think I'm gonna go with the Jabberwock stuff. The magic power bonus is kind of nice, especially because we're gonna be throwing fire and shit, so we might as well. And we're just gonna craft that pack. And then the other thing I need to make would be the Trapper's shirt, and that requires 2 felt and 3 twine. So we're gonna try and make our twine. Now for the twine, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because I don't have the regular stuff. I'm gonna see if I can make... Well, I guess I could spin animal fiber into twine if I really wanted to, which could be a decent alternative. But I think what I'm gonna do is just focus on felt for now. So for the felt, we're just gonna make 3 felt. That's the only one we have right now, but it's tier 2, so why not? And then for the fiber, I Having a higher stealth rating could be useful, especially since I'm having Charm of the Mule to kind of reduce my stealth. So I think maybe it might make sense to have this for now. So, saying I have one twine on me. Okay, so it's just Holt Bloom. So I'm gonna put that away actually, because I can't really utilize that. I'm gonna grab that felt for the twine. Let's I mean, I guess I could make animal fiber, huh? Let me take a look. Let me take a look and see what we have for animal fiber. What options we have. Let's see, we need 3 twine. If I were to take animal fiber to make twine, I would need 2. So I need 6 animal fibers if I'm gonna make it. And let's see, if we look at I can make it out of fish, I can make it out of this. You know what, let's do it with maximum health. We're gonna do with the predator stuff, so I'm gonna make 4 of these. Or actually, or did I say 6? Oh well. I don't think that's enough, but let me double check. Okay, so yeah, we do have enough actually. So that's gonna lead to maximum stamina, or I could, well, actually let me double check, because I feel like I'm looking over something. Oh, here we go. Predator stuff. So we need maybe 2 more. Animal fiber. Predator meat. We're gonna make 2 more. I miscounted there. There we go. And then now we're gonna make our twine. And then once we have the 3 twine, we can go and make our trapper's shirt. And then the only thing we won't have will be the recipe for the bowler's hat, because remember, we need buttons for that, and I can't make that without the recipe. So we're not going to worry about that just yet. And I'm going to take the trapper's shirt. We're going to make that. Let's use the predator belt, predator twine, and here we go. Awesome. So now that I have that made, I'm going to swap out my simple shirt for that. Notice all the health I just got from that. So that's very nice. And I'm also going to swap out my backpack, also giving me lots of health. So let me talk to my helper here. And I'm going to give them a backpack, which they don't have currently. So they're going to need that. And of course, the shirt is going to be better than the one they currently have equipped. So I'm going to remove that. So looks like my helper has now upgraded to be what I used to be. So they're almost as good as me now. Almost, but not quite. They're like a tier under, technically. So yeah, that I know this is a lot of like housekeeping and like maintenance stuff for this particular episode, guys, but I mean, putting together all this stuff is really, really important. So like right now, I'm going to apply my Charm of the Wanderer to my shoes. And we're just going to apply that. And then I'm also going to make I should have another Charm of the Mule made. So for this, I'm going to need a Charm Bauble and then a Charm Cord for Heart. I don't know if I have my Charm Cords. Oh, I do have it unlocked. So we're going to need Polished Coral for that. So you know what? I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to travel to where we can find this. So we can find the coral around the outer edges of the area. We're kind of, I think it's better if I just go in this area here just to kind of, you know, show you guys where to find the coral. But basically you can find coral in forest realms, but like in the water. So I'm just gonna head over there. I'm gonna make a mad dash, essentially. Just gonna run past all these creatures. I could do a little bit of hunting here, but I just want to quickly show this. I'm just gonna glide all the way down here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave my helper right here to do this job. Oh, I might have told them to stand still. Yeah, I did. Oh no. Oh man, so that was a mistake right there. I could have had my helper in that area just mining away. But I failed to plan for that. But yeah, if you look at the water here, you can see like a little bit of seaweed there in the bottom. It looks kind of like seaweed, but if I get closer, you see that purple stuff? That is what we need. So what we do is we go into the water like this and we just pick up the coral. This is something I feel like the game doesn't really tell you, is like where to find coral. But if you look it up, you'll find stuff here. You know, so we got some seaweed, but what's interesting about the seaweed is that it's counted as crude plant fiber for some reason, which I find really odd. But yeah, there's that. Now, because we have Charm of the Wanderer, for whatever reason, I'm not really, you know, using up much stamina here in the water, and I think that that's part of the reason why, because if you notice when I have the, you know, when I'm like floating with my umbrella, I'm going like a further distance too, I think. But even just running around, I'm not using up stamina. It's only really when I'm gliding or climbing. So we got a bunch of coral. Alright, so we have 103 coral. I think that's more than enough for now. And then I'm going to actually travel to Respite. So now that I'm back at the Respite, I'm going to make my charm baubles. And for that, well actually, should I make the charm bauble right now? Yeah, I should. So we're gonna need, hold on a second, let me find a charm bauble, so we have some carved stone, we have some wire. I'm gonna let that do its thing for now, and we're also gonna need the charm cord heart. So charm cords you can make at the textile station. So we're also gonna need, so we're gonna need twine and then polished coral. Now it doesn't matter what kind of twine I use to make these charms. It's not really going to make much of a difference. So I'm gonna have that doing its thing. Gonna grab this. Alright, and then once I have enough, I can make my charm cord for heart. And I'm also going, actually I'm going to need 2 of them because I need the heart one for also for Charm of the Immovable. So I'm just going to hold off for that and wait. And it's saying I need polished coral, so we're going to need to put down some part. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to do the polished coral. I think that's the only real thing I can use coral for, so I'm just gonna, you know, kind of continuously let this thing do it, you know, kind of build, and it's saying it'll take like 60, actually hold on, let me turn on the fire first before I start this. It's saying it'll take a lot of time, but I'm just going to make 4 of them for now, and I'm gonna reset my day. I'm gonna do a quick rest. Alright, I'm gonna interact with my helper. I'm gonna have them follow me so I don't forget to leave them behind, or I don't accidentally leave them behind. Charm cord, heart, twine, we're gonna use crude, and we're gonna use the fleshy coral, and we're gonna make a few of them. So I think I'm just gonna make 8. Since I have enough to make 8, might as well throw it in there. And once this is concluded, we'll be able to make our 2 charms. So these will be the first charms we're really crafting this game, which is kind of cool. And let's see, I have my items. Alright, so now I'm going to make my Charm of the Immovable. And then I'm going to make my Charm of the Mule. Alright, and then now that that's completed, I'm going to put the immovable one, I'm going to apply that to my shirt. Or, I guess it could be my shirt or my coat, doesn't really matter right now. And then of course, Charm of the Mule, I'm going to put on my backpack because it just seems fitting. Whenever you're replacing charms on anything, the main important charms that you want to always have, just put on your main gear. But if you have something else that needs to be, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no. Well, anyway, I'm gonna put the coral with the other plant life. But yeah, as you can see, once you apply everything, you know, you'll have a little bit more. So right now I have 300 carrying capacity. Normally I'd have about 150. I think the Charm of the Mule just doubles it essentially. So yeah, this is pretty much our setup so far. The next steps for like crafting stuff would be probably infusions, or even just, you know, immolation. I could use immolation. So I actually have a human seal, which I got from a crate, like a box. So I think immolation might be good to have, and then of course recovery. Now the cool thing, let's see if I can make a recovery one. What do I need? I need weak human seal. So you can make the weak human seal, I think, over here. Yep, there it is. We're going to apply just really basic stuff here. I'm gonna make this quick weak human seal. Cool, awesome. So now we have that done. I'm going to interact here with this. We're gonna make our recovery spell. Now the reason why I'm making 2 spells I'm about to show you right now. So for recovery, well actually refined items, I'm pretty sure you can like put more than 1 spell on it, since it's like a tier 2 item. So like the tier usually corresponds with how the number of infusions or the number of spells you can equip. So in this case with immolation, I'm going to apply this to my regular axe actually, because I use that mostly for combat, and I'm also going to apply recovery to my regular axe. But I'm going to put that in the tier 2 spot, or the 2nd spot. So now, as you can, what the hell? What the hell? What's going on here? No. I'm sorry. You're trespassing. God. Why do I have all these deer in my place? That's so weird. Anyway, that was really distracting. Oh yeah, I was gonna demonstrate. So if I have my axe, right, and I press R, I have immolation already equipped, right? So I can throw my fire spell, right? But if I want to use my other spell, I press and hold R, and I can switch, and then I can just, you know, if I press and hold, it's a bigger heal for like longer time, I think. So now I'm an apprentice caster because I've casted 2 different spells. So if you notice, that's just giving me a slight health regeneration buff. So if I were to like fall down and hurt myself or something and then just try to, you know, heal, I can. Or it can be really useful in a pinch. So like if I want to cast it really quickly, I can. And then boom, you know, so see how quickly I'm, you know, casting it. So worst case scenario, I end up in a pinch and I just throw a regenerative spell on me. I don't use this spell a lot personally because I tend to keep a lot of health potions on me, but if you don't want to carry a ton of health potions, that could definitely be a really solid alternative, especially when you're in combat and you're getting low and stuff like that. As far as my axe pick goes, I'm probably going to equip different spells on that. So I haven't unlocked most spells yet, but if I go to the progression tab and we look at magic, this is where you would unlock that. So I gotta slide all the way over, and we have illumination, which is basically a flashlight. You can just move a flashlight around. Fion's Wrath is a big fish, and it's like an AoE knockback. Regrowth basically regrows trees and plants from where you know, chop them down essentially. And Hermetic Flame basically makes my, like, it sets my weapon on fire, so I just do fire damage on the attack. Ideally, I want to have Hermetic Flame as my main, like, kind of go-to for what I usually use, because even though Fion's Wrath can be useful in like an AoE situation if you're getting surrounded by enemies, I tend to do a lot better by blocking, because later on there's going to be a charm that we're going to use. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here we go. Charm of Thorns. So when we complete Sylvan's Cradle, there's a charm called Charm of Thorns that we'll be able to unlock, and it deals damage to creatures who attacks you block. So damage is based on melee damage of your weapon. There's another one of these that is later on unlockable, I believe. I think it might be even tier 3. Let me see. Here we go. And it's Charm of Meditation, which we're going to want. And that basically just restores health after blocking an attack. So basically, for those of you who might play League of Legends, you might know of an item called Thornmail. Imagine having Thornmail, but every time Thornmail does damage to an attacker, you heal. So if you put those two charms together, your melee, damage output, even while blocking is notable. So that's why I like to use those spells. That's why I, that's why I like to use those charms. I'm trying to plan ahead for that, so that I'm not like, recycling gear over and over. Granted, I'm not going to have access to those charms until later into the game, but it's still kind of good to think about these things as you're like kind of deciding where to place stuff so that you're not wasting materials, like placing, like the wrong spell on an item or the wrong charm on an item, because you can't retrieve your charms or your enchantments or your infusions from an item, but you can overwrite them. So yeah, I just thought that was important, good to go over and talk about. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by and watching this video. Sorry there wasn't really much action as far as like going around and fighting things, but having an upkeep session, a housekeeping session is really important, especially if you're looking to progress in a game like this, because if you don't keep your gear up to date as you go further and further, you're just going to get absolutely annihilated by those enemies, even at a low level or a low difficulty setting. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to watch this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, Sholo out.